Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
Truly a sight to behold. The man beat the once great champ, now a study in moppishness. No longer the victory-hungry stallion we've raced so many times before, but a pathetic, washed-up, aged ex-champion.
All right, let's go.
I think you know the guy. And I think you know him pretty damn well. His name is
Izzy Presley.
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 What's my name? Say my name, bitch!
My good friend.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley. Ouch!
Izzy Presley. Whoa, that sounds a little weird.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley.
Izzy Presley, the heaviest, girthiest rock DJ around.
Hey, this is Jeff LeBar. You listen to Izzy Presley. Those aren't pillows.
Hello, Las Vegas. Hello, world. Hello, my loyal minions. It's good to see you. It's always good to be seen. I'm Izzy Presley, host of the program, and my co-host and two co-hosts for the intro, at least. Mike Dawson from the Adam Carolla Show, the Water Cooler, and all that good stuff.
And Mitch the dog.
Mitch the oh, that's a good buddy.
That's a good buddy.
That's a good buddy.
Today
Brynn
I'm
Arens.
stoked.
Yeah, dude.
We talked to Brynn today.
Yeah, had a nice, fun hour-and-a-half-long conversation with him, diving into rock and roll and flip and songwriting and everything. It's a good time. It's a good time.
This is a dude that I first met when I was with you, and we were working at a podcast convention, Rock and Pod.
Yeah.
And I met Brynn, and I immediately fell in love with him, and in a totally gay way. So we're clear.
Well, you're into older guys. What can you say?
No, dude, he's the greatest dude in the world.
He's just,
and he's a ton of fun. And this is
blast.
a hell of a fun interview.
Yeah, it's good times. It's good times. And speaking of Rock and Pod, that yellow guitar behind me that you guys can see, I talked about this on the Patreon yesterday, patreon.com/realizzypresley. It's only $5 a month. That guitar I made, I mean, it's a cheap-ass Epiphone. I made it to honor Jeff LeBar when we did the show at Rock and Pod. We did Rare Hair, and that was right after the Great Burrito injury. And it's set up to spin, and I half-heartedly attempted it with my fucking torn rotator cuff 3 times. I had to use the other arm. But that's my Jeff LeBar tribute guitar, and that's actually for sale. $400, shipping included, stage played. I'll sign it.
Pick it up.
If you guys want to hit me up. It's just one of those things I have. You know, it's cool, but I don't need it. You know. Let another Cinderella fan enjoy it.
There you go.
There you go. What do you say we get into this?
Mm-hmm.
You got anything?
I think it's great. Enjoy the shit out of this. We certainly did.
Yeah. You ain't got anything to pimp before we run into the interview?
Nah, just be good to yourselves and each other.
All right. So here we are going to play a classic Mike Dawson reading from the Book of Kiss.
Ooh.
And right after that, Brynn Arens right here on another fucking podcast with Izzy Presley, Mike Dawson.
A reading from the Book of Paul, verse Animalize, chapter Under the Gun. Yeah, there's no speed limit where I'm coming from. Let's hit the highway, doing 69. Praise be to Paul.
Brynn, how are you, Brynn? Are you good?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Hell yeah, dude.
Busy, working on music just 24/7. I was working on something just before tuning in live via satellite with Presley via satellite.
Nice.
See what I did there?
I did. And of course, tomorrow's his birthday.
Oh, well, see what you did there. I did not know this.
And also the day they announced, or the day that, I think it was the day they announced that Kurt died. Blazing. DB.
Kurt. Oh, right.
Because I was looking at it, because I every year
yeah.
I randomly grab his shirt, and sometimes it just always works out. It's the day that we found out he died. So weird.
He was great to do shows with. He was just like so low key and low stress and never brought a drama to the situation.
Dude, my favorite Kurt story, LA Guns was playing at the red carpet, and they got set up. They did their sound check, and the opening band comes in and goes, "So are they going to move their drums?" Kurt looks at the drummer, goes, "They're not here to see you. You have 3 options: set up in front of them, set up on the floor, or go home. That's it. That's it. They're not here to see you. They're here to see LA Guns."
That's what you call choices.
Yeah. He didn't raise his voice. He was calm. He was like, that's your options. That's it.
I love that shit.
Oh, no.
I love being calm and being right. One time we were doing we had this kid that was working for the show one time, for the Corolla show, and like he wanted to do some kind of game on the air, and I hadn't heard about it, and all these things are supposed to go through me. Somehow this didn't go through me, and all of a sudden it's on the air, and I'm just shaking my head going, this is a bad idea. So anyway, I told the kid, it went horrible, and then I told the kid afterwards, I said, you don't do it like this. You run it through me. Here's what you got to do. And then one day he said, "Dawson, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you about this after the show?" I said, "Absolutely, dude. Let's go outside and talk." We go outside and talk, and before he can say one word, I said, "This conversation is not going to go the way you think it is. There are 2 producers on this show, and they're both named Mike." End of conversation. Very calm. It totally worked out. But I felt really proud of keeping my shit together. But also there was an element of, I can be calm and be a total dick. And I'm going to get a lot more out of this if I'm calm.
Yeah.
So
I'm jealous.
I'm so with you on that.
I'm jealous. Both of you guys are firing lung darts. I'm inside. I can't. Maybe I should move my whole setup out to the parking lot so I can fire lung darts with you guys.
How long you been smoking, Brynn?
Yep.
How long?
I'm going to give it a night. Well, when you first start, I can't remember like how long I kind of smoked. Like, and by the way, this mic isn't hooked up, but I felt so. I see both you guys with your. I mean, it's hooked up. It's hooked up to my recording gear. It's not hooked up to my Zoom.
It looks great.
I felt so inadequate with you guys with your mic. Thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about.
When you started smoking.
When did you start smoking? How many years now?
Oh, so I got a funny story. I started smoking, I want to say, in 11th grade.
Okay.
And we had both an indoor and outdoor smoking area in our high school. And the indoor area had like jute boxes.
Holy shit.
And a fucking foosball table and a bumper pool table and a little pizza shack.
Oh, wow.
Why wouldn't you smoke?
I mean, and then
I want to go play foosball. Yeah, this is the smokers area. Well, shit, dude. Give me a fucking pack.
And right by, so there was 4 glass doors, access to the outdoor one. And always, every day of in between every class, there was a dude standing somewhere by those doors selling joints for $1.
Nice.
And if you planned everything right, you took a home ec class on your 4th hour, which was classically the lunch hour, so you could use your lunch money to buy a joint but still eat at lunchtime, that home ec.
Smart.
That was my schedule.
That's beautiful. I similar high school experience. Juniors and seniors at my private Catholic high school, mind you, juniors and seniors were allowed to smoke cigarettes in the parking lot. If you were a freshman and sophomore, you weren't allowed in the parking lot. So therefore, you weren't allowed to
Wow.
smoke. But as soon as you're a junior and senior, as you
That's how-
step into the parking lot, you can light a cigarette.
They lifted the value of the real estate of that parking lot a
Right.
lot. They worked
Right.
that fucking parking. Hey, we have a parking lot. Let's fuck with them.
So you mentioned that you're just producing music nonstop. What are you working on right now?
Right now, today, for me,
Yeah.
I'll show you because
Please.
I was about to record something, but I was working on one of my mentees' songs.
hmm
I don't still have it up, do I? No. And it's really cool. But look, Mom, no hands. What was I doing? Shakata. Little out of tune. Pretty chords.
I like that. It is very pretty. It's a little reminiscent of Melissa. Allman
Yeah.
Brothers, a little bit.
Yep, I could hear that.
But I like I love one of the things that I was kind of never really able to do with songwriting because my knowledge of chords and guitar is, I've been playing since I was 15 years old, and I still know 5 chords.
Don't let the chords get in the way.
Right.
Really,
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let the chords get in the way of a good song. I can tell you these chords I found by mistake. One day I do play a lot. This is open E tuning, and I do use it a lot. And I have a sock in here because I had to record, and a mute here because I had to record something really staccato, like right. It was going shang, shang, shang. Yeah, I forget what I'm talking about a lot now. I've had
what I was going to
three
say was in
traumatic
that,
brain injuries.
that's all right. What I was going to say was in that little groove you just played, I could tell that first part was the intro to the song. And then it switched over into the verses. And that's one thing that I respect, that I always thought was kind of lacking in my songwriting, to get that, that kind of hook and intro right out there in the beginning. And then, you return to that as you go. But that's not the pattern of the verses, or, it's just, I like it.
Well, it's a tricky thing because when you're playing just guitar, right, you really don't have any semblance. Is that a real word? Of a vocal or anything, right? The tendency is to overplay the guitar.
Yeah.
Because now you're making up for everything. And actually, when you're playing guitar and writing by yourself, a person's tendency is to play every instrument on the guitar. So you start going, I'm playing the drums, I'm playing the bass, I got the rhythm. If the drums and bass were in there, I'd probably be going, you know what I mean, or something. So writing a song is when you're doing it on your own, if you're not doing pre-production with a band and everybody is responsible for their own component, the drummer, the drums, obviously the bass player, that takes the load off of the writer, and it actually helps the writer and makes things a lot easier, because now if you have the right guys, you don't have to think about that shit.
Right.
Now you're doing this. And that's what we all hope for in a rock band. And what's wonderful for me is I have that in FLIPP.
Right.
Not to single out, not to leave out Mono in any way, shape, or form, but Kilo and Greg and I have been playing together so long, and specifically really Greg even more so, since 1979. And I'm here to tell you that Greg Einam and myself, Cherry Forever, have never had a crossword since 1979.
Wow.
That's rare. Would you agree?
We lived together, and we were poor together, and we moved to New York together with a garbage bag full of Jiffy muffins.
What are those?
They're like,
I mean, obviously it's food that poor people eat, but
Right.
I've never heard of it.
clearly, they're like, at the time they were 25 cents a box, and I think they would make 4 or 5 little muffins per box. And I think we like bought enough of them to like, and cooked them and baked them or whatever, and filled a garbage bag with them.
How long did they last?
Long enough. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess, you know, it was so long ago, but I'm gonna sure we got really sick of them, and
Yeah, right.
so they lasted a long time. Like, there's a good chance that weeks later there were Jiffy muffins sitting around. Like, we just couldn't. The last 3 were sitting there for a long period of time.
Nice.
But what I was gonna say about this thing, and I forgot what I said. I had a guitar upstairs, open tuned, sitting in I have a breakfast nookie booth thing.
Mhm.
And I had forgot that I had it open tuned. And so I just grabbed it and I went to play an E chord.
Right.
An E shape, right? And I went, what?
So that's an E on an open E tuning, which is not
Correct.
an E.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's an E something.
Something.
I'm guessing 9 because it's pretty. If it makes you want to cry a little bit, it's a 9.
Aha.
If it makes you want to drop balloons from the ceiling, it's a 7. It's the Beatles.
Ah.
The 9s are the sad chords. The 9, it's a simple theory. It's the 9th note in the scale. So
Okay.
it's the second to last note in the scale. So it's that pretty. Oh, I'm open tuned. It's. So if I'm playing a G, the 9 would be just the next note down. If you're playing the low. Which is basically the basis.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's the money guitar right there.
That's the basis for every Flip song.
Yeah.
I keep on a loose on the wheel. The ride.
Yeah.
I come unglued every time I think of you.
So you're just basically AC/DC with different chords.
Look, that's exactly right. 100%. And I tell my mentees that. That's why I say don't let these chords get in the way of a good song.
There you go.
Name this song. You couldn't take it so hard. Keith Richards, right? You should.
Yeah, there you go.
So hard. Start me up. Same 2
Yeah.
chords. Start.
Right.
Everywhere I hear the sound of my.
Interesting. Don't let the chords get in the way of a good. Well, yeah, that.
I'm
It sounded for a second. It sounded like a Pete Droge piece called Stralin Street.
Oh, nice.
Probably because it's the same chords.
Very possibly. And there's really only so many. It's not about, the tendency.
Thank you.
The tendency for a player is to immediately want to go to the next chord or the next note if they're soloing. Now, hang on to that baby, man. Milk it and make it say something. Don't go don't say nothing, but go and it says something. So this is all I do with my whole life.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Yeah. Anyway,
We should probably start. Should we start the segment?
Oh, we hadn't?
I mean, we can leave this in here if you guys want.
Oh, I thought we were.
Yeah, I thought we were into it.
We'll just keep rolling, man. Let's
Yeah,
just
keep rolling.
So, Ben, you guys are playing on the 27th of February at Turf Club,
Yeah.
correct? You guys, no, you don't. Flip doesn't play that often. It's kind of
It's getting more. We've just signed new management.
okay.
But you're right. I mean, I would gladly play more. Um, that being said, yeah. That
Do
being
you,
said, the clubs in like, here we are today, right?
right.
It's like the clubs downtown Minneapolis. The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. She
Yeah.
ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. So there's difficulties all over the place.
But then again, I mean, tell me how you feel about this. It's just, is it still just, I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it, but in the end, is it really just the joy of playing music on stage? Is that still everything it is? Do you still get the same
I'm here to
release, the same feeling? And there's nothing like that feeling on earth.
You're 100% correct, and I've come to the conclusion that I am unwell
Yeah.
because the only time I don't feel anxiety
Hmm.
is on the way to the gig, at the gig, on the way home, on the way to the meeting with the record company, on the way to the studio, in the studio, uh, playing guitar, helping others find their voice, which is what I do. I don't teach guitar. I don't teach cover songs.
Mm-hmm.
If a person wants to excel at their guitar playing, for instance, I say, oh, we're going to do that with your material. And if you have to play it 10 times, well, we're going to use your music and the
Yeah.
things that you write. And I'm going to help take those things and help teach you how to turn them into songs. And in the process of doing that, I suggest that you watch me do it like I do when a guy comes and fixes my hot water heater.
Mm-hmm.
I watch them so I can fix it myself next
Mm.
time. So even on a production level, I say keep your eye on me and watch what I'm doing. I wouldn't suggest that you stop me and ask a lot of questions because
Right.
that could bog us down. We're in a creative space here, and creativity is the upper, is the goal. So let's not let anything get in the way. So just watch.
Right.
And then
Right. Don't. Yeah.
if we want to have a production session and that's it, I'm cool with that too.
Well, often, yeah. If you stop like that to answer questions or explain something, it's almost like putting a stick in the spokes. It's like we've just derailed the creative train.
100%. Imagine you're on a potter's wheel, and that's a metaphor I use a lot because a potter's wheel and a wet piece of clay can just go anywhere, right? You can do anything with it. Chances are when you start, you don't really have a finished product in mind, but you have just a rough. And all you should have is a rough. Because if you overthink it and decide for an endpoint before you start, you've just gotten rid of all other possibilities that could have come up while you were doing that, right? So it's like if somebody you were doing on the potter's wheel and you had the mud and it was wet and somebody came up and stopped your potter's wheel, your tendency would want to be to like maybe punch that person.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That's
interesting.
So yeah.
Well, the reason I kind of brought up you guys not playing that much, I was like, because I was thinking, it's like, yeah, it's kind of the Gear Daddies thing. They only play a couple times a year, and it seemed to work for them.
Well, I'm going to tell you something fun. We're going into the studio. We got new material coming, and you might be glad to hear that one of those songs we're recording is Bubblegum Machine.
Really? Finally?
Yeah, finally. Can you believe that? How I think we have 4 or 5 records out, and it's not out there.
How long has this song been a part of the band?
Since the beginning, and it was kind of it was kind of a favorite out of the gate.
Yeah.
Again, don't stop me now.
Yeah.
It's a bubble gum machine. See if I can do it. This will be my pre-production. We're all living in a fishbowl. I'm playing every instrument. We live on the bottom of your shoes. Yellow, blue, red, and green. I'll turn that thing around. Then you just way down the sea. That's where I'll see you. Living with me inside a bubble gum machine. Gum, gum, bubble gum. Living with me inside a bubble gum machine. It's a perfect waste of time.
Now, is go ahead.
Why was that song never put on a record?
Great question. Because there's only so many songs up for a record, and somebody wants this one, and somebody wants that one, and in those positions, I always leave it up to the producer.
Okay,
always,
so that was the same thing, kind of the same thing with Hairdo, because Hairdo wasn't on that first record. I got it because it was on that 93X compilation.
Well, but it was recorded for the first record in Seattle.
Yeah,
which might be the version that ended up on that compilation. So, and then we re-recorded the whole first record in LA at A&M after just a miserable failed attempt in Seattle.
What went wrong in Seattle?
Just wasn't a good matchup between the band and the producers.
Okay. Who were the producers? Anybody that we would know?
Sure. Scott McCoy. He's like, been in REM even since then. And Conrad Uno, so these were like kind of almost not sub pop guys, but kind of above that. Conrad Uno had just done She's Lump.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Presidents of the United States of America.
She's in my head. And to bring it back to Hairdo, one of the reasons they were chosen was because of the song Hairdo, which you could loosely go lump. I don't think you cut it. It's this quirky, weird thing. And there was a thought that, so we had certainly two very distinct styles. One was the quirky schizo boy, psychobabble, Hairdo, whole world sick thing, but then we also had the very kind of alternative power pop thing too, with I Wish I Was a Planet and all of the others, All in My Head, and on and on. So producers that we would interview for doing the first record, some wanted to do the quirky flip. There's a great story with Bob Marlette, Black Sabbath producer, who was in love with Schizo Boy. He just thought it was so fucking great. Well, then I went into A&M to do a soundtrack for the Crow movie, and Black Sabbath I was in Studio A, where We Are the World was fucking made.
Shit.
And
shit.
Here's how cool Sabbath is. And Sabbath was in Studio C, which isn't much different than what I call hole in the wall studios here. It's about this size, right? And Bob Marlette, I'm outside having a cigarette. Marlette goes, "Hey man, how you doing? Good. Hey," I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm here with Sabbath, man. You want to come in? We're working on their new single." And I go, "Fuck yeah. Awesome." I go, "What's going on there?" He goes, "Tony's laying down guitar." And I'm like, fucking cool. So I go in there, Tony Iommi just sitting on a little black couch thingy, love seat, recording their new song called Psycho Man.
Damn.
Really?
And Bob Marlette didn't put it all together fast enough. And he starts playing. I go, "What's it called?" And he goes, "Psycho Man." And I went, "Dude, that's funny. Remember how bad you wanted to record Schizo Boy?" And he kind of went,
Schizo Boy. Psycho Man. Yeah, no, it sounds like an unlikely
But it's all
superhero
good.
duo.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Unlikely superhero.
Yeah, Psycho Man and Schizo Boy.
That's funny.
That's a
Brynn, how
good
did
bit. Unlikely psycho. Yeah.
how did the record company, how did Hollywood react when
So what?
to having to re-record the entire record?
I feel so fortunate.
Because you guys were a new band.
Well, they had a lot of belief in us.
Okay.
Bob Pfeiffer, the president, there was going to be FLIPP cartoons, which were going to be kind of like a late night, like the monkeys on acid, maybe. The monkeys meet the monkeys with swear words kind of cartoon, maybe thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a far cry from a Beavis and Butthead sort of vibe or something. And he gave us the funds to redo the whole album. And I couldn't be. And the difference between the two sessions is like when we got, I'm proud to say that after a week of the sessions in Seattle, I called the label and I said, I don't think this is going to work. And they had me stick with it. And I called again and I said, I don't think this is working, you guys. I don't, they're just not responding. And so I wasn't trying to cover my tracks, but I kind of covered my tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in Bob's defense, I think he was so in love with the My Generation video and the fact that I had kind of just hobbled that whole thing together myself. I think he had more faith in me in that department than I deserved, and maybe thought, well, Brynn, if it doesn't go good, Brynn will just take over. He can do it. Look at that. Look at My Generation.
Well, any reason why you didn't self-produce? Because, you have the skill. Is there the importance of having someone there, another set of ears? Is that the only reason? Just need
more than
an alternate viewpoint? Okay.
Not more than just artistic. It's also logistic. There's a lot of other shit that will bog down the artist. And again, this is something that's covered in my mentoring sessions. The greatest in the world. I'm going to just pull two out of my ass. Okay. Johnny Cash and Glenn Campbell.
Okay.
Benefited from a producer every time.
Mm-hmm.
Could we come up with examples of artists that have been able to produce themselves to great effect? The answer is yes, but we can come up with a caveat for any subject we want to come up with, right?
Sure.
So my personal feeling is yes, an artist will always benefit from a producer. And here's the really funky thing. Part of producing is, as you know, for Christ's sake, is knowing when not to do anything.
Right.
Yep.
It's more that is knowing more than knowing what to do almost. That is like the number one, know what to do, when to do nothing thing. Like playing bass guitar.
It's almost like if you're self-producing, you almost try to make it too perfect. And that can kind of take away from what you're trying to do.
I think there's a lot of psycho. Yeah, I think, that would be another way of saying I think psychoacoustics have a lot to do with it. For instance, if I give a mix to the guitar player, to each different member of the band, the drummer does a mix, guitar player does a mix, singer does a mix, right? A strange thing will happen. The singer will mix his voice too quietly because he psychoacoustically hears it louder than it actually is in the mix because it's in his head and it's
interesting.
Him. But a guitar player will crank the fuck out of his guitars because he can't hear it either, but in a different way.
Right.
So that's, that would actually be kind of funny, wouldn't it? To do a record and have each member of the band mix it. Like, mix a song.
4 different versions.
That would be a very fun A-B, and also would make one hell of an extended re-release.
With the Oddfathers, when we worked with Jack Douglas and Eddie Kramer, the original concept was to do the exact same songs with both of them so people could really hear what the producer was doing. because when you hear a producer produce a whole album, it's kind of hard to discern what the producer does, unless it's an obvious thing like Kiss Destroyer, where it's so different from the 3 records before it that it's clear.
Right.
But,
or like the Doors Riders on the Storm, where the producer goes, "Oh, we need thunder and lightning here."
Paul Rothschild, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah,
go.
So you know, I'm sorry if you ask me these questions and I go off on a tangent.
Oh, that's great.
But there's, you know, to feel like I'm actually answering complete, I feel like it's a requirement.
You know, we bounce around so much on this because, you know, this, like I always say, this is a shoot interview. I don't have anything written down in front of me. This is just, fuck it, let's go here, let's go here.
Well, Izzy, you and I have known each other for 5 million years. Of course,
exactly.
You're right. We've already written it down.
Exactly. I remember the first time I interviewed you, and I don't know if you remember this or not. It was when I was
for a magazine.
It was for the magazine. I came by and
we were on my porch.
3 songs. We were on the porch, and then I just started hammering you with fucking flip questions. You just stopped. He goes, "I knew you were going to ask me flip questions," and fuck it, you did it, man. It was great. And I remember I asked you if Flip would ever play again, and you said, "Well, I mean, obviously the answer is not no. I mean, if somebody offers me $25,000, I'm going to do it." But you went on and did the Oddfathers. You went in and did all this other stuff, American Standard, all this kind of stuff. What made you decide to go back and do Flip?
Oh, good question. Well, first of all, I had to clean myself up. I ran into a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And so I did that. So the Oddfathers was my first toe tip back in to being in a band.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason it wasn't called the Brynn Arens Band or something like that, which did come down the line later, was because I wanted to be in a band. I didn't want to have to do everything again.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I found out that's not possible in both of my personality makeup.
Yeah.
and if somebody's going to contact the group about any particular thing, they're going to call me.
Right.
And they do. And they did. But so the Oddfathers, it was cool though. I mean, we fucking got that deal right away and, you know, got to work with Jack Douglas and Eddie Kramer. I mean, and put out part 1 and part 2. And I think the concept of the whole Oddfather thing was really cool. The pinstripe suits, the Italian words, the whole bit. I mean, we almost started making spaghetti sauce at one point.
You know what is cool too is when you're free to not call the band by your own name. Your name's already done. You're out there. That's what that is. Now you get to think of another cool name, and there's a little bit of anonymity in there too, where you get to kind of be like, no, it's a band. It's not me and the band. Whereas, you know, when I started the band that Izzy and I play in now, the Smokin' Kills, I really wanted to call it the Smokin' Kills, not Mike Dawson and the Smokin' Kills, because I just wanted to be a part of a band. But then what it came down to is, how are people going to connect this with my previous work on iTunes? I'd like everything to sit together. So the executive decision at the end, before the record came out, was we got to change it to Mike Dawson and the Smokin' Kills so that it's easily findable. But there is a lot of freedom and new creativity. It's like getting a new dog and trying to think of a name. Like, here we go. We get to do this again. What's going to be the greatest band name?
And it's like walking in New York City. It's like there's a million people, yet you're still invisible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, exactly. And it's fun to be invisible. A little bit.
You're in there and not, you know, it's kind of liquid, you know, it's kind of like, yeah. No, there's no question about it. I think I'd be remiss.
He's going to be remiss.
Remiss.
We're remissing you on the screen and from your microphone as well. Here he is. I love you, buddy. Uh-oh.
Ah,
yeah.
Vinyl, baby.
Vinyl, baby.
Smoking Kills on vinyl. Rocksteady Records, go get it.
That's right.
That's right. That link will be in here. That link.
Go to Bandcamp, Rocksteady Records, and fucking get it, man.
Hell yeah. There's an Easter egg at the end of side 1.
I mean, it's the fact that we're sitting here like,
Yeah, yeah, I know.
And this whole thing, I mean, okay, let's pretend we're a band, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Smoking Kills, I mean, is perfect for us.
Exactly.
I was going to say, what would we call ourselves? And then I looked at this in the thing, and I went, duh. So, yeah, Mike Dawson.
So what was it, Brynn, what was it that made you decide to do Flip again?
I'm sorry, I diverted.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, so then the Oddfathers happened, and then it all got put in my lap anyway. But, and, you know, I have a part to play in that too, right?
Of
so,
course.
Then I decided to go with Brynn Arens and the Blast, which I still think is a cool name, the Blast. It's a good name for a band. I don't think there is one either.
That is a good name, actually.
It is. And it's fun.
Yeah.
And I was going to do Obsession. Mm-hmm. I was going to do everything. My whole Obsession, Funhouse, Rattling Bones,
Rattling Bones,
Oddfathers, FLIPP. And I asked Greg Idem if he wanted to do it, and he said yes. Right? Duff played drums for us for a period.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we got offered the reunion gig at First Avenue.
Mm.
And
that did it.
And we sold it out.
Yeah.
And I felt like an idiot.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like you go away long enough, eventually.
Well, it wasn't, I guess. Maybe, it's pretty fucking cool. But that's when I just came to the realization that I'm a dummy to not just go into it. But I think I did need that acclimation period after what I had just come out of.
Right.
Before pull that off. If I would have went into full, it's like not warming up before you run or something.
Yeah. So was that?
I'm not a fucking runner, though. I'll tell you that.
Then again, I imagine. Do you play golf at all ever, Brynn? Okay.
I golfed once.
But if you did, I would say that you're the kind of person who would not take practice swings, just like me. And that's the opposite of this. It's like, wait a minute, I better stretch before I run here. And it also, I think, taking that break makes getting back into it so much more worthy. You need to miss something to really experience the joy of it again, especially if it's,
who I am. It's who I am. No question. You're just so perceptive. So that's what did it, and I'm really glad it did. I mean, I have been walking away again for 1 second.
It's all right, brother.
I have been a professional musician since I was in the 5th grade.
That is fucking awesome.
Here's the drum head from that band. Okay?
That's wild.
The band was originally called Ash of Evil. Then it was called Evil Ash. And then it was called Ash. Now, in my memory, that was like 3 years, but it was more likely probably 2 months that those name changes occurred. I am pleased to tell you that this band I started in the 5th grade, played our first concert the next year, stayed together till we graduated high school. Now think about that in terms of I'll use the term yearage.
Yeah.
Because when you're in fucking 8th grade, 1 year is the equivalent of what now? 10?
Yes.
So we got to do the math backwards and like go, yeah, those 7, 8 years are the equivalent of 25, 30 years.
Right.
When you're at that age.
Well, there is science behind that to back it up.
There is.
We have so much sensory perception. that we're
Well, you
being
know-
overloaded, and it's like the days seem so long. Remember when you were a kid, the night before Christmas was interminable. It was endless.
That
And
week was
now
like
when you're
a
getting
year.
older, because we have our perceptions have been limited through age. Now
Well,
time
and
seems to
when you're
fly a
one
lot
day-
faster.
When you're 1 day old and then
Mhm.
you're 2 days old, that second day is half your life.
Right. Oh shit.
That's
right.
the real theory.
That's
so when
right.
you're only 10 years old,
Yeah.
6 was half your life.
Right.
So, but here's some fun facts regarding it. I'm
Please.
saddened to say that the reason I got this was the drummer Kerry Downbrock passed away from alcohol poisoning.
Sorry. dude.
No.
Yeah, and him and I started the band together. We were playing hockey at a rink, and he goes, "Hey man, I heard you have electric guitar because I got a drum set." And we literally, on my steel runner sled that night, brought my Ward's amp and my Tisco guitar down to his basement and stayed there till I fucking graduated high school.
Wow.
Jesus. Can I ask you what your parents did for a living?
Yeah. My mother was a homemaker extraordinaire.
Okay.
Like Martha Stewart would drop her jaw. We never had store-bought bread, for instance.
Shit.
Which, because I thought we were poor. I would go over to kids' houses and they'd have Wonder Bread, and I'd be like, you're rich. And
Totally, dude. I asked my mom one time when I was a kid, I said, "Mom, how come we never get Chef Boyardee?" And she said, "Because you got Chef Boyardee, you lucky your mom can cook."
Dude, bingo.
Yeah.
There were rows and rows of cookies on the counter. I swear every day I came home from school. Made her own bread. She won every baking thing in the Minnesota State Fair that you can possibly win, and then some, to the point where they had to ask her to stop putting shit in.
Oh, that's funny.
And when we were little, and my mother, this was her art, is kind of where I'm going with this, because I consider a true artist. When we didn't have anything to do, we're bored, when you're little.
Yeah.
I got a funny story about my grandma when I said that to her once, but which was a real life lesson. My mom would have books of like famous painters.
Uh-huh.
That's what she would say. She'd go listen to some music. Go look at those books of those painters. I remember that very specifically.
What's the story of your grandmother?
Well, the story with my grandmother is, once I was little, we lived across the street from a park, which is where the hockey place was, where I met Carrie. I said I was bored. Now, my grandma grew up on a farm. Not having anything to do is beyond luxurious to her.
Right.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And she looked at me with the stink eye of a spoiled little 1970s, 60s kid with a TV and a radio in his room and a park across the street, complaining he ain't got nothing to do.
Right.
She would have been out slitting the throat of a hog.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Brynn, what do you remember about the 60s? Did you get to go to see the Beatles at
No.
that stadium? Were you too young?
Greg went. Cherry went.
Really?
Yeah, he also saw the Dave Clark 5 at the Armory. His dad took them. So, and to get back to my parents, my dad was the inventor of, are you familiar with scratch and sniff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad invented that.
Did you know that, I'm sure you know, especially since your dad was the inventor of scratch and sniff.
There's some caveat to that story, but yeah, that's the headline.
Well, the gimmick, one record label used one time, is they put a scratch and sniff on the cover of one band's album, and it smelled like the band's name. Do you know the band?
Oh, I love this. The Raspberries.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Absolutely.
Oh, glad I knew that.
Yeah.
God,
I think it would be I can't think of any other answer that might fit. but it's got to be out there. I
I
mean,
did have
the cars. They could do a new car smell, scratch and sniff, and have released it on a Cars record.
Smell. A new Cars album, a new
Yeah.
Cars smell.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. If they see this and don't do that, oh, that's fucking great. What? I'm sorry, Izzy.
No, I was just asking, what you remembered about the '60s and music-wise.
Oh,
That's why I asked
right.
if you did get to see the Beatles at Met Stadium.
No, my first concert was Alice Cooper "Welcome to My Nightmare" tour with the James Gang opening with Tommy Bolin. Tommy Bolin on guitar. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. My older brother Rhett took me, and he vowed to never take me to another concert after that because I had a chair in the aisle, and I was like doing full blown Pete Townsend jumps into the aisle at the concert off of my chair, and I embarrassed him.
That's funny. What was the first record you ever bought with your own money?
Well, as far as music in the '60s go, I can tell you, I think my favorite band is Three Dog Night. And
Really?
Yeah.
The bass player on the Smokin' Kills record is Tim Hutton, Danny Hutton's son.
Correct.
And we recorded a lot of that in Danny Hutton's studio, where they dug a hole and recreated Stax in Laurel Canyon.
My little brother Kai is working on a documentary right now about Three Dog Night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, if you want a connection, I've got it for you. I can easily put you in touch with Tim. I would be more than happy to do that. He is a joy.
You know what the second song is we're cutting in the studio?
Tell me.
I'm going to do it open tuning, so no, I'm not, because I'll fuck it up. Our version. Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Hell yeah.
It sings it. And the man.
Wow.
We're doing
And he always had some mighty fine wine.
And the reason the documentary is getting made is because they're trying to induct Three Dog Night into the Hall of Fame. I don't know that as fact, but that's
Right.
They should be there. They should be there solely for the reason that Negron's dick blew up.
Fair enough.
Just for that reason.
Wasn't there a whole section of his book that was literally called "My Dick Blew Up"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, Izzy is disgusted right now.
No,
Izzy is rethinking asking Dawson to be on this podcast.
I'm reimagining my great burrito injury and the fall on the where I almost fell off the cliff when I was driving back and almost died, and thinking how bad that hurt driving from there alone in that car for 7 hours to get back to Vegas, and how bad that hurt when I sneezed and I thought I was going to die, but this guy's dick blew up.
Mm-hmm.
What's the burrito incident?
I was running for a burrito and because I wanted to beat somebody in line and my knee gave out and I crashed in front of the fucking burrito place and I tore my rotator cuff.
Yeah. Light a candle, curse the glare.
And the worst part was the people I was trying to beat in line, they had ordered ahead. They were just picking it up.
Wow. Those dicks.
That's not easy. Dude, you live a hard life.
Yeah.
I wonder what your grandma would have said about that, though.
What do your grandma said about that?
You mentioned how you had to get yourself, you mentioned how you had to get yourself cleaned. How much of that was the end of
Did you still get the burrito? Did you get the burrito?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. No, he saw it through. Mission accomplished, but there was some casualties. Yeah, he took some shrapnel.
Did it taste better? Did it change the flavor? Was the experience?
No.
The experience was still everything.
Just, by the time I got home, the adrenaline had wore off, and the pain was starting to set in. And then I realized I couldn't lift my arm higher than this.
Yeah.
Oh. I've never.
You should have gotten a chili dog in addition to the burrito.
Right.
To up the endorphins after the burrito was done.
I love a good fucking salty
Pain story.
chili dog.
Oh
I
yeah.
love a.
Well, the last time we saw your face, or the last time I saw your face, at least, Brynn, I don't know if Izzy has seen you since, but you came out to Ireland's 32 in Van Nuys with us on a Tuesday night jam night.
Right.
Yeah.
And classically, you showed up in pajamas, which made me smile. And you were going to be in LA for a few days, and you said to me, hey, let's get together and write a song. And I'm like, that's a great fucking idea. And then life got in the way of living. And then I called you like 6 days later, and you're like, dude, I'm out of town now. I'm gone. And I'm like, fuck. So I was crushed by that. And I don't think I ever like formally apologized to you for not getting on the ball, because I did understand how fucking cool that would have been. And I've been beating myself up over it since. We were going to write a song. We were going to write a song about a dad who says he's going out for cigarettes and never comes home.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I remember going, dude, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm in. I remember going, I like that. I'm in.
But have you been, or I know you haven't, but I don't think you have been, but any more plans to come out to LA? And
I don't know.
How far is Flip going to go? What are we doing here? What's the expansion? And I know there are a million factors to what happens, but what's the idea?
No idea, just to take it as it comes. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I've done this professionally since the 5th grade. I understand completely and clearly that it's a liquid existence.
Mm-hmm.
That's an album title.
Liquid Existence. That's a bad 70s prog rock band.
Oh, is it really?
No, I don't know.
No, it should be. Yes, of course.
It's so much so you thought maybe it was.
I know. No, I'm so gullible that I don't even get a tag on my own joke.
Okay. Hey, I got a joke for you, Dawson. I just told
Tell
you.
me.
How many groupies does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I want to say that's not their job, but what?
You're right. The correct response is, why would you have them do that?
Exactly.
So you're right. You're the first person I've ever told that joke to that got it right.
I like that joke.
We were talking about something.
Something.
Oh, songwriting. We can still do this. Do you have a recording rig? Sure you do.
I do.
So do I.
Okay. Let's
this is what I do.
Let's plan it out and see what we can do. I
We
like
still
that.
got time in our lives.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
The
3 of us? Let's write a theme song for this show.
Oh, that's a great idea, dude. I had an idea about a song from the only snobbish audio engineers will really appreciate this, but the song is written from the point of view of the front of house guy. And it's everybody is asking for more of me. Can I get a little more of me?
Yeah, it's called The Ballad of Night Bob.
Oh, dude, that's good.
But can I ask you a question that
I wrote a song
Go ahead.
about a woman who is in love with her vibrator from the point of view of the vibrator.
Ooh.
It's kind of a Pinocchio-ish kind of almost vibe going on. Called The Automatic Man.
Ah, that's what that's about.
Did he do the things you know that I can do? What did he say when he upped and walked away? So I'll just wait here in the face of all things going down. But now you know it. You're no good all alone.
I like that shit.
Dawson, what were you going to ask?
Well, Brynn, we did have that spectacular weekend out in Tennessee, where it was the Rockin' Pod conference. I wouldn't call it a festival, but it was a conference, and all the rock podcasts were there, and that was a lot of fun. And that's where you and I first met.
Absolutely.
And And then,
Thank
you know,
you.
I grew up in California, so I wasn't flip was not in my zeitgeist growing up. And so I've been able to go back and be like, oh yeah, no, here's a new cool band. Here's a new band from 40 years ago. Let's fucking
Cool.
go.
I love that. I love when I can do that.
And I really love the makeup. It feels to me more of a gimmick. It feels like a personality change. That's a different person up there. That's not Brynn Arens. That's the singer of Flip.
There isn't a Flip gig that doesn't go by that I don't contemplate it. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
One of these days it'll happen. You want to know what stops me? So there was a period, you know, when we had the hit where I was putting that shit on and off 3 times a day, go to a radio station, do an in-store, play a this, a play of that, play a corporate gig, play over there, then go play the big show at night. And it's really messy.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I never was given, like, Brynn, we set up this place for you. I had to, everywhere we go find the bathroom or whatever it would be to put that stuff on. And I mean, you can even probably see here, my place is fairly tidy. I might have a small amount of clean freak in me. And so I was unable to leave all that white powder, and the makeup is oil based. So it's like working with paint. So you're putting it on, then you go to turn on the faucet. Now there's makeup all over the faucet handle. And then, so by the time I'm done, there's white face powder and fucking, there's just shit everywhere. It was really messy. And that's what keeps me from doing it. Now, if somebody would have taken the bull by the horns and set me up with a place, everything I needed to put it on and off every day, it'd be a totally different story.
How much of that makeup really was you, though? Do you feel like you are that split personality that the makeup portrays?
No.
Is there an element?
Yes.
Of course.
It wasn't it's a post occurrence, not a premeditated. When I was in Ash of Evil, the angels sing, there was a band in my town called Backbreaker. The lead guitar player's name was Johnny Johnson. He had a Marshall and an SG in like 1969. That was a big fucking deal. He wore half black, half white face. So when we did the My Generation video at the Sound Gallery, which was a block away from Teener's, which is a theater makeup store and clothing and stuff, all the stuff for the theater, I decided, since this was just a throwaway we were doing, I was doing it so a friend could film it, Jovanovich could film his life. I'm like, I'm going to pretend I'm Johnny Johnson, and I'm going to do the half black, half Johnny Johnson, because I used to watch him through their basement window, like watch. Like, fuck, he had an Echoplex. They're playing Muscle of Love by Alice Cooper and shit, and I'm just like, I was just enamored. So that's where the black white face comes. There was no like our big, nothing smart there.
Now, when did Bill Aucoin come into it, and how much did Bill have? How much was you guys, and how much of it was Bill that kind of brought the characters to life?
None of it was Bill.
Okay.
That being said, a producer knows when not to do nothing. Same goes with a manager, okay? There's plenty of other things he did that are phenomenal. That was not one of them. That started out with me really wanting to do something that harkened back more to Obsession. For my first band that was big in the Twin Cities was called Obsession. There was a doctor in the band. This predates Prince. There was a doctor in the band. The drummer dressed up like the Little Rascals. The lead singer was like a heavy metal guy with studs and leather. And I was Johnny Thunders. I've always liked character-based bands. The sensational Alex Harvey band, Kiss, the Beatles, you know, the Monkees. And so that was really what I wanted to do. I remember when I was living in New York and Kilo was flying me back and forth to do demos to Minneapolis with them. One day I'm watching the Jenny Jones show, and there's a drug dealer on the Jenny Jones show with the synthesizer voice,
Oh, sure. Yeah. To protect his anonymity.
Yeah, or to
Yeah.
make it seem like a bigger deal than he actually is.
Of course. Yeah.
Or
yeah.
both.
Yeah.
And anyway, the guy's name was Kilo. And I just went, that name is badass. And I picked up the phone and I go, dude, how would you feel about being Kilo? And he goes, you mean like Kilo Bale? I go, perfect. Yep. That was it. So that's and then when we did our first photo shoot, Greg grabbed a banana and put it in his pants, like is phallically a word. And so for a very short time, his name was Nana Boy. Because I was just banana.
Oh, Nana Boy, banana. Yeah, okay.
Nana Boy. And then he just showed up to rehearsal one day. He goes, you know what? I go, what? He goes, I came up with Cherry Forever. I like it better than Nana Boy. I go, I do too. Done.
Yeah.
And then when Kai got in the band, he would show up one day. He was bald, but he would have little bits of hair coming out, and then he would shave it. And I'm like, God, Kai, you look like a chia pet.
Yeah, chia.
And he would show up to rehearsal, and Greg would look at him, chia, and then it turned into chia. So that just kind of happened. Then when we signed with Walt Disney, there was talk of me actually being Flip, that would be my name. That came up in a meeting, and again, to Bob Pfeiffer's credit, we'll get back to Bill Aucoin. Bob Pfeiffer's credit, he was like, you have all these cartoony names in the band. He goes, you need to remain the human element in the band. Plus, you're the front man. And he's the guy who said, he goes, I like the makeup in the My Generation video. I mean, he pushed that thing. It was the #2 independent music video in the U.S. that year and #1 in Canada and Mexico. So he did a great job. And I love Bob still to this day. But he's the one who said you should. He's like, we went and played the Dragonfly, we went and played the Ritz, we went and played the Viper Room, we played all those places early on in LA. And he was like, no. He goes, you're so expressive on stage. That makeup just is one dimensional. He goes, you just get this or this. But when you're playing on, he goes, no. So he was the guy who made sure that I stayed that. Now back to what was Bill Aucoin. Bill Aucoin first saw us in the late 80s. He was hired for Funhouse to help develop a stage performance with the band. There was a problem with the stage performance of Funhouse that I was basically Pete Townsend meets Johnny Thunders, and the singer was is a very cool, calm, and collective badass in more of a Phil Mogg, UFO, or maybe Bon Scott kind of way. But they wanted to, and we were getting interest from labels. Rolling Stone had just called us the best unsigned band in America. And so Bill Aucoin was brought in to help figure out a way to create a bouncing act on stage. Herb Gard, those two are my favorite managers of all time. Herb Gard, I could go on for days. Anyway, Bill was brought in to help develop the stage show and even it out across the board, because I guess I was a stage hog by all intent and purpose. And we get done with the first session, and we're walking up towards the front. Izzy, you were at the sound gallery, right?
Yeah.
The front, there was like a front room in the sound gallery, curved wall. Yeah. It was really cool in there. And we went in there, and as we're walking, I feel a tug on the back of my shirt, and it's Bill. And I turn around and go, hey man, what do you think? He goes, I think you should be the front man for the band. And I'm like, you mean fire the singer? And he just kind of shrugged. He didn't say yes or no.
Yeah.
So later on, I had never even sang backup vocals before Flip. I was hired to write songs for somebody else.
Okay.
That turned into Flip.
Did you believe that you could sing?
No, good
Or
Lord.
no? Yeah, okay.
I still don't.
Yeah.
I still don't really believe
Yeah, me
it.
too. Yeah.
I don't think anybody ever really does, though.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Celine Dion or something, who
Yeah.
thinks she can sing too much.
I mean,
Yeah.
Whitney did so much cocaine.
That
You got
it's
it.
a turn on. That it's ultimately a turn on.
Yeah, right.
So when Flip happened and I became the lead singer, it dawned on me one day that Bill said this 3-4 years ago that I should be the front man. I'm going to call him up. And that's how Bill got back in the picture. Now, one of the beautiful things that Bill did, we started at a tour with Evanescence, right when whatever that song was
Wake Me Up Inside, yeah.
breaking. And at the end of all of our shows, this is the makeup era. This is later on, the Columbia Records, Artemis Records era.
Yeah.
We did a show with Evanescence, and we would inevitably close each show with a pillow fight, feather pillows.
Okay.
That were pre-cut and would make a huge, right? I mean, it was
Especially with the right lights.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's so much better than smoke, bro. It's feathers.
Dude, way better.
Yeah.
And we had leaf blowers and shop vacs. Our crew, Izzy, you remember, they would get that shit cleaned up like it was nobody's business, right? It was still all out in the crowd and stuff and on the
Right.
ground. And the bars really hated it because any kind of sink with liquid in it would get full of feathers and you couldn't get them out. We actually played a gig at one place once. We did the feather pillow fight. Got a call from them complaining that there was feathers in all the sinks. The next day I sent them 3 buckets of chicken. I said, here's the rest of them.
Well, you guys at the carpet, you used to have to sneak them in, right?
Yeah. So then we got in trouble doing it. Nobody did. So we made all these amp cabinets, dummy cabinets where the backs came right off, and we hid feather pillows in them. And then towards the end of the show, the crew behind the back line would just pull those off and hand them to us. We're like, fucking right, we're doing it. We're playing a festival. They tell us don't do the pillow. We hire a helicopter and fucking drop feathers on everybody. So, that's so.
That's what I call money well spent.
After that Evanescence gig, we're walking back to the tour bus, and their tour manager punches my tour manager, Sean Walgren, in the back of the head. Cold cocked him out of nowhere because of the feather pillows, quote unquote. The truth is the fuck crowd wanted an encore. We went over huge, and it bummed them out.
Yeah.
I'm back in the tour bus with Bill Aucoin, and he's talking to the agent. Of course, we had to sign with Evanescence's agent to get on the tour.
Yeah.
And now they just got a call. He just got a call from Evanescence, and he's throwing a fit, and he's going to drop Flip and everything. And Bill grabs the phone, and he goes, you told me you wanted a rock band. He goes, you don't get any more rock than what just happened. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And that was that. And that's when I went, bam. I like this guy. He didn't physically say "go fuck yourself,"
Yeah,
Bill.
Sure.
Do that, but he did say, "Hey, man, you said you wanted a rock band."
Right. It reminds me. You've reminded me of something that my dear friend, multi-instrumentalist, great singer, Jonathan McEwen always told me. He always called, and I don't think this is the case for you, but I think you can see how it is the case for a lot. He always called managers damagers. And producers reducers. Exactly. And it seems to me like you've navigated that gauntlet very well, and you've been very successful in the people now. And it's not just that you picked them, but they picked you. And you gotta feel some kind of. I think you should feel a little bit of musical pride inside that.
I will take it a step further. Being a broke young musician, sleeping on people's couches and stuff, right? Let's not confuse that with real homelessness. I was a cute white rock and roller. Did not have a hard time finding a couch or a bed to sleep on in the early 80s. But I was broke. Food was harder to come by. I had been known to raid a midnight fridge or two. I had to create a concept for me to be comfortable enough to sleep at night. So I made up a phrase called creative currency in my mind.
Okay.
Where I said, the richest person in the world, with all the food and the nicest house in the world, can't buy what I just did tonight. You could throw all the money in the world at it, and it doesn't make it so.
Yeah.
The creative currency that I just deposited, for lack of a better term, is more valuable than money. And this was kind of a denial almost. It was a tool that I used to keep me going, even though didn't have a car, I was broke, had 3 T-shirts.
Well, that's what people who, haven't sold their souls to rock and roll like we have, that's something that they don't understand. They don't understand that creative currency.
No, they don't. A lot of like film producers do though. Like they'll throw money at it to make a movie just to hang out in the dressing room with Johnny Depp and pretend they're an actor.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
even this podcast that I've been doing for fucking 13 years, I'm not making money on this.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Right.
I have to use the International Bank of Musicians from time to time, the pawn shop.
Right. Well, that's funny, Izzy, because
that's good.
When I first started, a couple decades, 15 years ago, whatever, and I haven't done it in a while, but I used to do a podcast called Front of House, where it was half live performance, half interview. And
I think I watched.
And I'd mix the sound and have a really good time with these great artists. And I always told people the reason why I started this podcast is so I could get Shooter Jennings to play in my living room. And that was it.
And you did?
No, it didn't happen. But I became dear friends with his bass player, Ted Russell Camp, who
another brush with greatness. Another brush with greatness.
Who produced the Smoke and Kills record. So it all worked out, and maybe maybe one day that door's not closed.
What record did he produce? The Smoke and Kills on Rocksteady Records.
That's right, Rocksteady Records.
Get it at Rocksteady. It's not on Rocksteady.
See,
well, it's available.
I'd be very proud for it to be.
This is another reason for us to do another record, is so we can get that Rocksteady fucking logo on our album.
Well, we were, not to make it about us. But Izzy introduced. I was in Vegas with Izzy. I was doing comedy shows a few weeks ago, and we went to a place where Eddie Trunk was. There was a band playing, and it was like it was a Monsters of Rock reunion. And Izzy introduced me to a gentleman and said, "This is the singer of the band I'm in." And the guy looks at me and he goes, "Dude, that is a great record." And he worked with Ozzy 40 years ago.
Yeah. He worked with Ozzy until he died.
And what he said, started 40 years ago, 40 years. And so, anyway, I was asking him, I said, look, I want to get more life out of this record. And one thing we were thinking about doing is let's make a music video for every song. And what his advice was, go record 2 more songs and re-release the album as an extended version.
I second that emotion.
So there you go. I think we'll do that. We can put that on the back burner. So I got one quick question for you too, Brynn.
Look at that.
I want to know when you got into the fight with the bleach, and are you okay?
In a fight with my shirt.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm making a stupid joke, dude.
No, it's a funny one, because this was a sweatshirt that I used to paint my basement with one day, and it got paint all over it, and I was going to throw it away. So I went into my laundry room where I have a hangy thing, and I draped it over it, and I looked to my left, and there was a spray bottle. I looked to my right, there was a bottle of bleach, and I went, fuck it. And I sprayed it, and I go, I'll come back and take a look tomorrow. And I looked at it, and I went, I think I like it.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
So that's it. And I got to tell you, it made it soft and cozy. All these little light areas are a little extra soft and cozy. And it's winter here in Minnesota.
It is
Indeed
winter.
It is.
And it's going to be winter on February 27th, when Flip plays the Turf Club. It's going to be winter on February 22nd, when or the 21st, 22nd, 21st, 20 Saturday the 21st.
Both.
Whatever. I'm playing at the red carpet.
There you go.
Oh.
That
You
hasn't
wanna
been
get
announced.
up and- are you going to be here when we're at the turf?
No.
If you can change your flight, you don't want to get up and do freak with us.
God.
Are you bringing? Are you bringing the fucking coyote?
No.
So, that guitar I make, right?
Yeah.
I got the first one ever made. I think they only made 20 of them, and I think I've pretty much owned every one at one point or another. Izzy's got one that's got a different branding on it. It's
Katana.
what is it? Huh?
Katana?
No, it says it's the town in Seattle where Brad Sinsel, the best rock singer in the world, lives. Why am I brain farting on it? They also make those things people put on the roofs of their cars to carry stuff with.
Roof racks.
Yakima.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
I was trying to read it, but you can't really read it.
It says Yakima. That's the best playing. That is the best coyote next to mine. Oh, I had a guy, a great guy named Scott Webb. I hope you can still hear me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guy in Chicago named Scott Webb and I became acquainted. And one day this shows up.
Oh.
He built this for me. Now I don't do anything with it because it's unpainted. I'm afraid to hurt it. I don't.
It
really
looks like Kentucky.
It needs to be painted.
Yeah.
But
I'm assuming nicer wood.
It's heavy for me. Mine is so feather light. I like I think that's what I like about yours too. It was light.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe get it chambered. But I'm not good with nice guitars or nice cars. I don't want to be afraid to scratch them. I want to invite the possibility that they could get scratched.
I agree with that. That's why you drive a truck. Well, that's why I drive a truck.
A 1997 Lincoln Town Car.
Oh, beautiful, dude. I got a 97 4Runner.
Brynn,
Yeah.
when can we expect the new Flip stuff to come out?
Well, like I said, it's coming out on 8-track. Didn't I tell you that?
No.
But, oh, God, I'm sorry. The 2 songs are coming out on an 8-track, but the music isn't really on the 8-track.
Right.
It's a download thing. In the artwork on the back, you'll get a download. But we're going into the studio on the 15th of January. Pre-production on the 14th, 13th.
Nice.
Which we really don't need, so we'll just probably drink sodas and those guys will drink beer and we'll hang out and run the songs a couple times and enjoy each other.
Yeah.
So we're actually hoping, it'd be great. We're going in with John Fields, multi-platinum, gazillion albums sold, killer. He also produced our last album, Too Dumb to Quit. So who knows? It would be cool if they were done by the turf gig.
Well, I mean, in this day and age, it almost could be.
Almost could be. The only, I just don't want to. I wouldn't want to place that pressure on John.
No.
To have it done
Right.
that
Yeah.
big.
Brynn, how much longer do you think you can do it?
Music?
Yeah.
How much time you got?
Yeah.
The question
day you
is,
die.
Brynn, if you weren't doing music, how long do you think it would take you to put a gun in your mouth? That's the real question.
That's certainly a different angle, but yes, that's the real question. No, I hear you, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, if they have to put you out on stage in a wheelchair, you're still going to be out there doing it.
I can't, of course, answer that with complete accuracy.
Right.
But like I said right at the beginning of this thing, The only time I don't have anxiety is when I am doing what we are doing now, and that is talking creative music making and the whole world that surrounds it.
Mm-hmm.
The managers, the other bands, the venues, the guitars, the fucking instruments. There's so many. There's so much to it.
When you first said that earlier, it brought up something personal to me. I often throw up in the alley behind the club before the show.
Interesting.
Have you ever? You don't experience that anxiety. You don't experience that fear. See, I embrace that fear because it makes me feel alive, and it's like, yes, be scared, but go up there and fucking do it because you know it's gonna be fucking great.
The only gig I was ever scared at.
Okay.
And the night before, I literally had the dream where I walked on stage in my underwear.
Okay.
The cliche, which I still say would make a great music video of nothing of collection of bad dreams before you go on stage. It's all that. One thing I'd like to add about this show, if you go to my Facebook page, are actually photographs of it. And the first Kiss album was the only Kiss album out, and I'm wearing Paul Stanley makeup at that gig. And the only Kiss album that had come out yet was the very first one. Now, a couple things. Kerry Dombrock actually wrote on the back of this. It's pretty faded and pretty impossible to read, but there's a set list, which includes Smoke on the Water, which was a brand new song at that time, and 3 original songs of mine in the 5th grade. Wow. And here's a very Flip-esque sort of way of thinking. They gave us from 2:30 to 3 o'clock to play they let the whole school come watch us in the gymnasium. They let the whole school out to see us. School ends at 3 o'clock. That means a bell rings, right? What song do we close with? School's Out by Alice Cooper, because the actual bell in the school will ring.
That's fucking brilliant.
Dude, I'm in 5th grade, and these are the ideas. This is already where this kind of crap that's coming into my head. The one thing I didn't take into consideration was how excited we would be, and we had played every song too fast, so we had to vamp on the end of School's Out for quite a while. But
that happens. That's where the anxiety is. That's why you play fast. It's like because you're nervous and you know.
I was in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
You know, the show was when I was in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also, my dad, who worked at 3M, where he invented Scratch and Sniff, had access to dry ice, which was a big deal in 1973.
Oh shit!
And I'm sitting in my kitchen, and my mom had a humidifier, one of those 1970s fake wood grain humidifiers with like a gold almost grill cloth in front of it with 2 knobs on the front, one on and off, and one how fast do you want the fan to be going, right? And I'm like, God, that thing looks just like a little amp. Oh my God, it's got a white tank in the back. Oh my God, it's a humidifier. It blows the air out. We're going to have fake amps on stage that look like they start on fire. We got to find another humidifier, and we're going to use those as our dry ice machines. And we're going to go back and get fake feedback or whatever, and smoke is going to come out of what the audience are going to think is amps.
Dude, that's rock and roll.
I mean, it's demented. It's demented. What kind of 6th grader has these thoughts? It's not good.
It's not bad.
No, I'm clearly very proud of it, but
yeah,
that we did that. There's a photo of that on my Facebook too. My mother took a photo when the fog machines were going. It's bad. I'm playing a Tisco tulip.
That's killer.
And I had a cape, and I was wearing a cape.
And Paul Stanley makeup.
And my mom backcombed and teased my hair for me. And before we went on stage, I looked out of the curtains, and my friend Billy Walters was there, and he goes, "Hey man, how'd you get your hair to do that?" And I told him I said I washed it in ketchup. So everybody thought, like, at school the next day, like, "Did you really wash?" Billy Walters said you washed your hair in ketchup. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking good.
And my little brother, who's like 6 years, Kai, who's like 6 years younger than me, says that a bunch of people were following me home from school that day. And I still, to this day, would just say, no, those were just other people walking home from school that happened to be behind me. But he saw it as like, Pied Piper.
Yeah. How much did you rely on Kai as far as the artistic direction?
Well, the direction was more, I'll say, a group effort.
Okay.
It was more or concepts, ideas that I came up with, not unlike humidifier, smoke machine. But in making it happen and making it colorful, and knowing his skill directed my ideas in that way. So, for instance, we had trading cards, and the thing was to put flyers up everywhere. You could still put flyers up back then. And I'm like, what if we did trading cards instead and put them on countertops at record stores instead of flyers on poles? I tell you what if we do 4 individual ones so they got to collect all 4, and let's put just Brynn's in this store and just Chia's in this store so people got to go around and get them.
Yeah.
I tell you what if on the back, after you get all 4, you turn it over and it's one big picture?
That's fucking brilliant,
dude. It really sounds to me like you're banging on that scratch and sniff raspberries door.
100%,
you know what I mean,
dude? 100%. Mom, I don't have anything to do. Go look at the fucking painting books.
Right.
Hey, eat this stuff. I got an idea. My dad, he's still that way. He's got an illegal water well in his basement that he uses to fucking heat all his floors and shit. He lives by a lake. So he's like, I don't have to dig very far. He builds an illegal well in his basement. I'm probably going to get him arrested now. And it's fucking running all his water shit in his house.
Oh,
good.
For free.
Great.
Good.
That's fucking great.
I know.
Good. I mean, Crystal Geyser fucking bought a piece of land at the bottom of a fucking spring in California. Why did they get the fucking water? Fuck you.
Yeah.
So good on your dad.
Well, you guys, I mean, if you're in Minneapolis, St. Paul, in Minnesota, in the upper Midwestern area, get out to see Flip on the 27th of February. Such great fucking stories. You get a lot of those. I'm sure there's some of those stories in this book.
Oh, I got a fun story for you.
Please, let us end on that.
First of all, I'm really sorry that we've been on here for an hour, 30 minutes, and I've been talking really a lot.
That's awesome. That's the
I
reason.
apologize for how long and boring this is. I recently got it.
Wait a second, Brynn. The other end of that coin is you could be saying nothing. Believe me, as a 30-year radio vet, both me and Izzy will tell you more is better. You talking is great. So don't apologize.
Oh, I appreciate that greatly. I very recently got a call to ask if I was available to tour with a band called Motley Crue.
Ooh.
By Big Machine Records, who they've recently signed with. And the gentleman from Big Machine Records is quoted on the back of that book, a guy named Julian Raymond. He's the one who called me about it. On the back of the book, you know how big time people put little blurbs on there? He's as good as something like Brynn is so good his career will last him a lunchtime. Or something like that. Fucking brilliant. Well,
that's a good one to go out.
I had to do, clearly when John, who I've become friends with, called me to do the book, of course my response was, you clearly have the wrong number, or you need to get your hearing checked, or both. Anyway, so I did about I want to say 250 hours of Zoom interviews. I don't know. And the very first one when we met, I said to him, I'm not the worst singer in the world.
Yeah.
But one of these days, Vince Neil and Bret Michaels are going to die. Then I'll be the worst singer.
Yeah.
Well,
but you know what?
if you open the book, so put this puzzle together. If you open the book, that's the first line in the book, is that first quote, first thing I ever said to him. Julian Raymond, who's quoted on the book, has the book in his office. Motley Crue is considering a new guitar player. Julian calls me, and I could see him, he's not even even reading or even looking at the book, but I know it's in his office. I could see him going, I got the guy for you, man. Matter of fact, they wrote a book about him. It's right up there, grabbing it, and them opening it and seeing, I'm not the worst singer in the world, but one of these days, Vince Steele and Bret Michaels are going to die. I think that was the end of that. Another brush with greatness.
Oh, dude, that's fucking great.
I love it.
Brynn, they want to find you. They want to find the Rocksteady website, your music mentoring website. Where can they go?
My Facebook. It's simple, right? Just Google me. It's everywhere. And the Rocksteady stuff is on the Bandcamp, which, it's not a great name for a thing like Bandcamp, but the really truth is out of all of them, they are by far the best. But I wish they were called something cooler.
All right.
And let's go to Bandcamp.
Let's go to Bandcamp. And I got my fucking outro music here. Brynn Arens, FLIPP, fucking Oddfathers.
Mike Dawson, Izzy Presley.
Every time you're on, we just scratch the surface. It's just more and more and more, and I love it, and I love it, I love it. I can't wait to have you back.
And we could
Dawson,
go forever.
We could go forever. Dawson, what do you got coming up in Dawson World?
I'm going to be in San Diego doing a comedy show on, I believe it's January 17th at National Lampoon's Yellow Door. And until then, you can hear me weekday afternoons from 3 to 7 on 95.7 FM The Ride in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And on the Adam Carolla Show every
True.
day.
And on the water cooler.
And the water cooler. Thanks for the shout-outs, by the way. I love it. Of course, you can find me, Real Izzy Presley, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, show page, and other art from podcast, and IzzyPresley.com for all the links, including Cameo and the Patreon, which is only $5 a month, and you get this show ad-free before everybody else. That's it, man. We'll see you guys next time.
And you're playing in St. Cloud.
I'm playing in St. Cloud. Doing a East Remembrance show. And a big Kiss jam at the end. The Press Bar reunited. Brynn Arens, Mike Dawson. I'm Izzy Presley. Don't forget what I lack in talent to make up for in the cock. Cock.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're a little late. So say good night, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.